And welcome, my name is Aichambot. I'm a dedicated Nikke content creator and it's 40 degrees in my room and that is why we are wearing a swimsuit and not because we want to be on brand with Nikke. Today we are going to watch a video which is called an overly added beginner's guide to Nikke Goddess of Victory, and I'm going to watch and react to this because I am a beginner and I have still a lot of things to learn about Nikke. Here we go.
Welcome to Nikke, that one gacha game that's been marketed to hell and back like any other mobile game. Except this time, even the ads themselves might make you think twice about taking out your phone in public.
Are you okay? Don't come any closer.
Commander, should we pull out?
Never pull out!
If you're new to Nikke, or have been playing for a while but just clicked through the tutorial thinking this is just going to be a side game and don't even know what half of this stuff is for, then listen up. If you have no idea where to start, click this thing. This blue arrow will always take you to wherever the current story is, whether it's in the middle of a desert, at your home base, or your mom's bedroom. The campaign is the biggest priority for new players, as the more you progress through the story, the more resources you automatically generate over time, from something that's called the Outpost. The Outpost is your home base that also happens to passively farm the evil robots and get their loot. And if you have no idea what the game is about, feel free to watch my Nikke in a nutshell video, linked below. The Outpost reaches max capacity every 12 hours, and you can also claim a free 2 hours worth of extra resources once per day. If you plan on whaling a bit, you can do additional wipeouts to get more resources at the cost of gems. However, it will get much less efficient the more times you do this in a day. Also, the amount of resources you get is directly tied to your progression in the story, so try not to blow your load all at once. Play the story, get more stuff, level up your units. While you can't speedrun through the story just to get back to watching your PNG units do PNG stuff, the story genuinely is incredible in more ways than one. Its shameless, compelling, and heartbreaking writing is something special and gives the piece beyond the aesthetics and strategic gunplay to stick around for it.
Hero da.
When it comes to leveling, you can do so by going to the main menu and clicking this button to access any of your units. Or if you're about to enter a quest, you could just tap and hold the icon over any of your units and still view and upgrade them from there. In Call of Duty, your units are cybernetic super soldiers who just look like anime girls for morale boosting purposes. And for leveling them, you use resources known as credits, core dust, and data sets. Early on, credits and datasets will be more needed to accelerate leveling, but core dust will be the most needed resource for the long term. If you want to check my source, I'll have a spreadsheet made by one of my community members linked below. In Metal Rear Racing, it's best to invest in no more than 5 main units, as you'll be able to catch up your other units with the Synchro device. After passing Chapter 4-15, you unlock the Synchro device. The Synchro device takes the unit's level that's put into it and matches it to the lowest leveled unit among your top 5 highest level Nikkes. If you remove a Nikke from a Synchro slot, that Nikke instantly loses the synchronized levels, and you'll have to wait 4 hours or pay some gems to free up the slot again. You'll also get more slots over time from the Tactics Academy, or you could also pay gems to buy new permanent slots for more units. Different Nikkes have different max levels. You've got the R Nikkes, the most basic of units, who also happen to be the most covered up. They do provide some utility, but their max level is capped at level 80. SR units, after limit breaking them twice with duplicates, cap at 160, and SSRs, after limit breaking them thrice, have a max level cap of 200. However, if your favorite unit is an SR like Himeno, she can surpass her own level limit of 160 if placed into the synchronizer when your top 5 highest level Nikkes are higher than level 160. Overall, as a free-to-play player, you're not entirely screwed. As a free-to-play, I wasn't locked out of too much content, and it took me about 3 months to get 5 maxed and broken SSRs as a free-to-play.
Hey! There's a line here!
I have a legendary Nikke, Emma!
Once you hit level 200 with 5 SSR units, you no longer level up each individual unit, but instead upgrade the Synchro device itself for all levels past 200. Your original 5 SSR units at level 200 cannot have their levels reset and are permanently linked to the synchro device. There is a max level limit to the synchro device, but it's determined by how many Nikkes you have, including limit break levels, which go from 1 star all the way to core 7. In my experience, each extra limit break level yielded about a 1.5% increase in damage, though this may vary from character to character.
I'm coming!
First thing to note when making a team comp are the burst levels. In Nikke, each unit has a burst level of 1, 2, or 3. In battle, while dealing damage, they charge up the burst gauge and, when full, allows for any burst 1 unit to initiate their burst skill. Afterwards, any burst 2 unit can burst, followed by any burst 3. You can also tap the auto button on the top left that will allow the Nikkes to use their burst automatically, prioritizing their bursts from left to right.
Yeah.
You can also auto battle with regular attacks by tapping the crosshair icon in the top left. After activating burst 3, your units and go into a full burst stage, and it will focus all their fire on your cursor. The full burst stage normally lasts for 10 seconds and gives a 50% boost to damage while it's active. Certain weapons can also increase the burst gauge faster than others. Snipers and rocket launchers charge the burst gauge fastest, especially when rapid firing, with the next fastest being shotguns, lightweight machine guns, assault rifles, and submachine guns. For building units, aside from swiping credits and sticking USB sticks into them, you can also give them equipment, level up their skills, and give them cubes, which we'll cover later. If you accidentally leveled more than 5 units, you can reset their level by tapping this thing at the top right and spend 10 gems to get all the resources refunded to you. However, you currently cannot reset their skills. There was an item introduced to the game that could reset skill levels, but these could only be used during certain events, which we have no idea when they'll be. A little side note, when a resource shows as 1 hour, 2 hours, etc., that's just how many hours of that resource they're worth, not a time limit to use them, as that was one of the many things that confused me about this game, aside from the whole anime girls with Z-cups to save the world thing. The Arc. This is where you'll find various game modes outside the story. In a nutshell, Interception is the boss mode that gives equipment and equipment upgrade materials. Simulation Room is the labyrinth mode that gives skill mats to level up your skills. Lost Sector is the puzzle mode that gives cubes and batteries to upgrade the cubes. Tribe Tower is a tower mode that gives summoning materials for new units.
Let's fucking go!
This thing gives rewards for leveling units and progressing through Tribe Tower and Campaign Hard mode, and PvP Arena might as well be called PP Arena since that's all people want to flex. Plus, it gives PvP shop currency. Most modes are pretty self-explanatory except for a few, one of which being the Simulation Room. Currently, there are 5 levels to the Simulation Room, with each level having 3 stages, A, B, and C. If you want to start at a lower stage, you'll have more opportunities to earn buffs along the way to help you tackle the later stages. However, you can only hold up to 8 buffs, but can swap them out with the other buffs you earn along the way. If you happen to have enough carries in your team to skip right to clearing the later stages, then you'll earn all the resources for clearing that stage, as well as all the resources you would have gotten from the stages below the one you just cleared. One other thing to clarify is the Interception mode, specifically the stuff you get from it. This part's about to be an info dump, so feel free to put me on 2 times speed. In Nikke, units are divided into 3 classes: Attacker, Defender, Supporter. They can also use equipment made for the specific class. They also have assigned manufacturers. You can Mistless, Tetra, Elysian, Pilgrim, or Abnormal, and get a staff bonus when wearing equipment that has the matching manufacturer in the purple icon. Once you unlock the section under sub-boss, when clearing the next stage of the boss, there's a chance for this blue gem drop called Custom Module, which can only be used in Tier 9 equipment. That's the purple icon has been upgraded to level 5. Once you use this, the equipment goes from Tier 9 to level gear status and can't be removed from your unit, but it gives extra stat effects such as increased aimsets, increased attack, etc. Each line has a percentage chance of having a random buff appear on it, but you'll always get at least 1 line showing a random buff generated. If you tap the change effects button, that will reveal all the stat lines for another chance at more or less or different buffs. And tapping keep effects will revert the effects back to effects you had before trying to change them, and tapping change effects means you confirm accepting the new effects you were presented with when activating a change. But if you tap the reset attributes button, that will only reroll the percentage value of the buffs, but not replace the types of buffs themselves. You can also lock in a specific buff for 2 custom mods to keep them from changing the buff with the percentage value when rolling the other stats, but you can also reroll those up by 1 custom mod for every locked buff. Here's a list of possible percentage value outcomes and a chance of appearing. I'll have the link to the chart in the description below.
What?
Aside from these game modes, we also have events that range from pseudo-UI simulators with a couple farmable nodes to full-on collaboration events fitted with custom maps and fun mini-games. Next is the Outpost. To keep things simple, we'll be summarizing what each of these buttons do and hopefully keep brains from exploding. First off is the Tactics Academy. This is where you upgrade
我在北京
This is where you upgrade different parts of the game, from increasing your idle rewards to increasing the amount of synchro slots. This part of the game will be the biggest sink for your credits early on, but will be worth it in the long run. Some of the upgrades will require building a certain building, but before building the building, you'll need the building blueprints, and to find the building blueprints, you can find those from the sparkly thingies called relics around the main campaign maps, and you can look up the exact locations of every building blueprints from the Nikke.dg website, which I'll have linked below. Next is the Command Center. Here, you can reread past story sections, review bits of lore or music tracks that you picked up throughout the campaign maps, and read Bond stories, while also practicing your oral skills. You can also do 5 outpost stories a week, which are these ellipsis icon things which give gift items to use on your Nikkes. You can also tap this button in the top left to easily see all the Nikkes that are the main focus of each story. Next, you've got the Recycling Room. This is where you can upgrade the stats of your units from particular classes or manufacturers through using console pieces, which is an item you can get from events, shops, or idle rewards. You can also access parts of the Recycling Room by tapping on either of these icons and upgrading from there. Next is the Infrastructure Core. This device gives minor buffs to your overall gameplay, from giving extra advising attempts to free shop resets. The Infrastructure Core is upgraded by completing mission challenges, which you'll passively do just by playing the game. You'll also earn high-quality molds for every Infrastructure Core level. This is the Bulletin Board, aka the Dispatch System, which is basically the click button, wait a couple hours, and get free stuff daily system. And lastly is the Elevator. This leads to the Nikke Liberation System, which is where you can choose an SSR Nikke to counsel and eventually unlock after accumulating enough points from daily quests. The daily tasks can be refreshed at a cost of 50 gems, but if the idea of spending money on a high rarity unit you can get for free sounds ridiculous, I'd recommend watching Giga spend $400 on Astolfo.
I spent $400 on a dick!
There's a few other tips we could go over, but for the sake of saving time, I'll just include the extra tips in the description below. Here is your Friends tab. Here you can find friends in the wild or search for one specifically. Each day, you can send out friend points to everyone in your friends list, which can be used on the friend point banner. You receive 2 friend points per friend who sent you friend points, capping at 30 points, which means you don't need everyone on your friends list to be active every day to get the full amount of points. Next is the Union tab. From here, you can create a union, pick a union to join, or look one up that suits your interests. Once you join a union, you'll have access to the shooting range, union raids, and the union shop, where you can spend currency earned from union raids. Do I hit Nihilist or do I have to wait till Sunbather?
Just hit Nihilist too.
Okay.
You should be able to one-shot it.
Now it's time for the Gacha. This is a system through which new units are obtained through various banners. If you're unfamiliar with gacha banners, they're basically virtual slot machines, except instead of rolling for copies of the Founding Fathers, you're rolling for copies of the Founding Mommies. The Rate Up banner features a unit that has a much higher chance of appearing over any other unit. The Ordinary banner has an equal chance of summoning any non-limited unit aside from Pilgrims. However, after rolling 4 multis on the Ordinary banner, you unlock the Wishlist system, which allows you to choose 15 different units to be the only possible pulls from the Ordinary banner, besides Pilgrims. You can also get codes for free gems, which are randomly given by the official Nikke Discord server and can be entered by tapping the bell in the top right, tapping the Events tab, and scrolling down to the CDQ Redemption portal and tapping here. In most gacha games, there tend to be a few different currencies, and in the world of Nikke, we also partake in obfuscation of direct monetary value of in-game items through excessive dilution of in-game currencies. At least they give us free gems for visiting the cash shop each day. Now, the thought of figuring out all the different shops and currencies stresses you out. Don't worry about it. All the shops are pretty straightforward. Just remember to take the free daily item from the general shop each day. One thing to know is the mileage shop, which functions as the pity system for the gacha. If you roll the rate up banner, you get gold mileage tickets. If you roll the ordinary banner, you get silver mileage tickets. Gold mileage tickets can be exchanged for any unit on rate up, and silver mileage tickets can be exchanged for any listed spare body. Spare bodies only upgrade the limit break level of a unit and are not an actual unit themselves. Meaning, if you buy Noah's spare body but haven't actually rolled Noah from the banner yet, you can't use Noah. However, units exchanged with gold mileage tickets are actionable units you can use in battle, jiggle physics and all.
Filtered.
Now for the campaign. When tackling a stage, if you're under the recommended power level, depending on how low you are, your stats will be nerfed anywhere from 5% to the point of literal P damage. In actual practice though, you usually can get away with getting through at least a few stages after becoming underpowered. If you want to know where all these numbers came from, I'll have a link to the spreadsheet in the description below. There's plenty of other things in the game, from lore-rich side stories to very challenging content. But while I can tell you who to roll for, what resources to get, and who has the biggest plot, how you enjoy the game is on you to figure out. It's got an amazing story that immerses you into its world and character writing that will hit you where it hurts. But if you don't care for any of that and just want to see some titties, then feel free to subscribe to my Patreon. For real though, Nikke spoke to me in a way that's hard to describe, and while I don't have the words to explain why this game stuck with me, I hope through whatever you found here, you find something that sticks with you.
Wow. Wow. I have to let this sink in. My brain is right now like, ugh. So much content. I have to let all that stuff just sink in now into my brain because I just started the game like last week and a lot of the stuff I definitely did not know about. My brain is just like exploding right now, so like literally going into Ahegao mode. It's like, ugh. For everyone who is joining Nikke 2 as a beginner, you're welcome to visit me on Twitch or on our Discord. Thanks for watching and maybe see you next time.
They got us, this is fire, make you feel